All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really fascinating and honestly, pretty controversial. It comes from the Mythical Times blog, and it's called The Shadow Theory. And trust me, it takes a question we've all asked and just flips it right on its head. You know the story, right? For decades, we've seen these strange lights in the sky, things moving in ways that just shouldn't be possible. And our imagination, well, it goes wild. It's a powerful story, and it almost always points us in one direction, up, to the stars. But what if that's the wrong place to look? What if the answer isn't out there at all? What if the truth is, well, profoundly human? And it's been hidden right here, in plain sight this whole time. That right there is where the shadow theory kicks off. Okay, so let's start with Section 1, a mystery in the sky.
And that leads us to Section 2, the shadow explanation.
So what is this theory? Well, at its core, it's pretty simple. It says that what we're seeing up there, it's not alien visitors. Nope. It's actually super advanced, top-secret technology. Tech that's developed and operated by our own governments and militaries. And it's all being deliberately kept under wraps. You see how this just completely reframes the whole conversation? We usually think of UFOs as this, grand mystery of exploration, maybe even first contact. But the shadow theory, it throws all that out. It says this is a strategy of control, a deception. The whole point isn't about them finding us. It's about us, well, certain powerful groups, hiding what they have from the rest of us. Okay, so the natural question is, where's the proof, right? Is this just a wild guess? Well, according to the source material, the argument isn't pulled out of thin air. It's actually rooted in something very real. A long, documented history of government secrecy and classified projects. So the whole case really rests on three main pillars. First, you've got historical precedent. Think about it. During the Cold War, secret spy planes were flying around that were so advanced, people constantly reported them as UFOs. Second, look at modern surveillance. We know about programs like PRISM, which proves that governments are already using incredibly advanced covert tech. And the third piece, psychological manipulation. UFO sightings are a perfect way to create confusion, fear, or just distract everybody from what's really going on. All right, moving on to Section 3, Beyond UFOs, because this is where the theory gets a lot bigger. Those mystery aircraft, they're just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, the argument really expands here in a huge way. The idea is that UFOs aren't the main story. They're just a symptom of something much, much larger. A hidden influence, a whole structure of secrecy and power that's supposedly operating completely behind the scenes, pulling the strings of global society. And that right there is the big leap. We've gone from a theory about UFOs to the full-blown shadow theory. The belief that there's this clandestine power structure, a hidden hand, directing major world events. The core idea? That the world we see isn't the full picture. Not even close. So that brings us to Section 4, who operates from the shadows? I mean, if this power structure really exists, you have to ask, who exactly is in it? Who's pulling the strings? Now, the source material doesn't give you a list of names, and honestly, that's pretty typical for theories like this. Instead, what it does is outline the types of groups, the kinds of powerful people that proponents believe would make up a network like this. And when you look at the groups the theory points to, it all comes back to a central claim, that real power is concentrated in these secretive, totally unaccountable hands. We're talking about a potential coalition of intelligence agencies, super wealthy elites, and maybe even politicians who are serving these hidden interests instead of the public's. Okay, Section 5, the motives for control. So if these groups exist, what's the end game? What's the ultimate goal? I mean, why go to all the trouble of operating from the shadows? Well, the theory lays out four main motives. The first one is pretty obvious: power and control, the ability to direct society and politics. The second is profit, controlling things like natural resources, financial markets, you get the idea. Third is influence, being able to manipulate what people think through media and propaganda. And the last one is ideology, pushing some kind of specific secret agenda that the rest of us don't know about. So there you have it.
We've gone all the way from mysterious lights in the sky to this idea of a hidden global power structure. It's a really compelling story for sure, but the big question is, how should we actually think about all this?
And this is absolutely crucial. The source itself is very clear about this. The shadow theory is controversial. There is no definitive, hard proof to back it up. It lives in the world of speculation and questions, not established facts. But the author of the source offers a really interesting take on why theories like this even exist. The idea is that exploring these possibilities, even without proof, comes from a really fundamental human drive, a desire to question what we're told, to try and make sense of a world that can feel incredibly complex and secretive. And really, that's the big question the theory leaves us with, isn't it? It's a challenge, really. A challenge to think critically about the world around us and ask what's real and what might just be a shadow. Whether you think it's pure speculation or maybe, just maybe, a glimpse into something hidden, well, that's a question for you to explore. Thanks so much for joining us on The Explainer.